Brandon here with goHUNT. Time to talk Montana. Big state, awesome state to hunt if you're into deer, elk, and the other species that they offer. We're going to go over some of the common questions that we have in this video. But to get started, Montana did make a few changes this year going into the 2022 application. We've covered all of those in an article that Dave wrote. We'll drop a link below, and then we'll dive into even more detail in the application strategy articles that'll be coming out along with these videos. And that's where we'll dive deep into strategy. Some of those changes and some of the things that happened this last year in the draw actually, it puts a little bit more emphasis on having a good strategy going into the draw. And we'll mention those in the video a little bit later down the road. But with that, those application strategy articles are for our insiders. So if you're not an insider, sign up. You can use the promo code DO50, and that gets you 50 points into the gear shop. So if you're not an insider and you're considering Montana, you'll definitely want to join and get some of the details there. To apply in Montana, it's fairly straightforward. You go to their website, and they really walk you through it. You're going to create an account, or if you've already been there, just log into your account. And they, step by step, they walk you through it. They give you a little box to select in whether you want to be part of the preference point system or bonus point system. You can opt in, opt out. It really is a pretty slick, straightforward system. Most of the state agencies these days have made it pretty user-friendly to get in and apply for hunts. We do walk through a little bit more of that in our application strategy articles. But overall, Montana is a pretty straightforward type of state to apply and get into their system and start building points. First question, Montana is somewhat complicated in their draw process. For non-residents, they have a general combos, a deer combo, an elk combo, and a big game combo. What those are your general licenses, if you will, or general permits for deer, elk, or both a deer tag and an elk tag. As non-residents, we have to apply for those. And so the deer combo is exactly that. It is just a general deer permit. The combo comes from the fact that you get small game license, you get a fishing license, some other habitat stuff that go along with it. That's why it's technically a combo. They've got a standalone elk combo, which is the same thing. It's a general elk permit, but along the lines, it gives you a small game license, fishing license, different things. And then the big game combo is both a deer tag and an elk tag, both general deer tag, general elk tag that you draw congruent, together. And they kind of all got their own hunt codes, own aspect that you apply for. With that, in our draw odds, in our draw odds, if you do want to find that big game combo, it's a standalone residency. So the way that we've got it broken apart is if you go in to draw odds and select non-resident, you'll be able to find both the deer combo and the elk combo. If you're looking for that big game combo, you'll drop down, select that as a residency, and then that's the odds that you'll find in the draw odds. Again, that's in our standalone draw odds section. In the insider product. Great way to kind of put strategy towards these. The other type of permit is their special licenses or special permits. And those their limited quota is another way, or controlled hunt, depending on which part of the country you're from. You're going to recognize them as a different name. But those are the ones that they limit. Typically, those are a little bit better quality hunt. Whether it's, just limited people in the field you don't have to compete with, or the trophy potential is there, or both. So those are permits that they limit by area, or by hunt district in Montana, if you call that. And those are the ones that you're going to hear about more often when people start talking about drawing a permit or drawing a license in Montana. Part of Montana's draw system is they associate a different point based on which permit or license you're going after. So on the general combos, they have a true preference point. Whereas, the person with points does have an advantage. They get the permit before someone else. The person with a higher point level is preferred in the draw system. So a guy with 3 points will get a point before someone with 2 points or 1 point. With that preference point system, they do have a caveat that 75% of the permits are reserved for those people that have the highest point level. 25% of their permits are set aside for people that have no points, so people that selected not to be in the point pool, And this last year, there is some interesting things that happened with that. There, for the first time, there was enough people in the application pools to see a separation there to where odds at 0 point actually were better than odds with 1 point. And so there could be some potential strategy there. If you're sitting at no points, with the way that Montana does things, you can actually go in to the application and purchase a point prior to the application. So if you're sitting at 0, you do have the option to buy a point going into the application period. But is that going to be the best is that going to be the best strategy going forward? And so diving into our application articles that come out for the insiders, we'll dive into different strategies that people could use depending on what they want, how they want to apply. And so on the flip side, with the special permits, kind of those limited quota controlled hunts, if you will, they have a bonus point, and it is a true bonus point. For each point that you accrue, and you accrue them by just not being successful in the draw, so each year you apply, don't draw a permit, you'll be able to gain a bonus point. Those points are squared. And so statistically, the people with more points have a statistical advantage. And so they do have 2 different point system. Another unique thing to the state of Montana is, in order for you to actually draw a special permit or one of those limited licenses, you have had to have been successful in drawing a general combo tag. So if you're going to apply for a limited license in Montana for elk, you first need to apply and draw that general license. And so that's why I say it gets complex, there gets a strategy. So you could have 10 or 15 limited points or true bonus points and 0 general preference points. And so in order for you to even be considered in your 10 or 15 bonus points, you need to figure out a strategy to be successful and draw that general preference point. So like I say, it is fairly complex. When you get down to it and actually get to applying, I do think Montana's system is fairly easy to apply in. I think Montana, they've redone their website a couple times over the years. They've made it pretty streamlined, pretty straightforward. I think they do a good job there. I actually am one that likes the complexity in Montana. I think it's, anytime that you can add elements that you can strategize and maybe plan a different way than the normal crowd, I think it's advantageous. I think it rewards people that do their homework and do their research. And so I do quite like Montana's system. Another common question that we get is regards to party apps. It's a great way to hunt, with buddies. You got 3 or 4 of you that are building points. If you want to apply with your friend, it's a good way to get out there in the field with buddies. There is a strategy there that we've kind of touched around our office, is whether you want to apply as a group or if you want to just hunt the same area multiple times. Have only one person in your party have a permit, and go hunt that multiple years, as opposed to everybody dump in and everybody drop permits. But if you do consider applying in Montana, they allow up to 5 applicants. The general preference point, they average those points out to the decimal point. So you will go into the draw with your true decimal point. On the bonus point side, those party points, if you will, get rounded to the nearest whole number. So if you went into it with, your average is 2.5, they will round that to 3 points. And so, it's a great way in Montana, particularly on the general combo tags. It's a fun hunt. If you've got a group of 2 or 3, 4 people, it's a great way to get out there in the field. But there is a strategy with how you use your points as a group. You may not let your buddies that don't have any points pull the group total down, or you may take one for the team and go into it with a little lower average. So a question that we get regarding party applications is whether they over allocate, or if say you're the last applicant, there's only 1 permit, you're a party of 4. Montana does not over allocate permits. That's like they're good neighbors to the south. Wyoming, that's a great state that caters to party apps. Montana is not quite that generous. So the majority of people that are going to be looking at Montana are looking at their deer elk. The opportunity to go hunt those 2 species up there is vast. It's a great state. They've got a pile of deer, a pile of elk, good fun general hunts. There are, you know, trophy species up there as well. You know, you go talk moose, sheep, goat. They do have, you know, some of the best bighorn sheep in the world are found in Montana, the Missouri Break areas. Great genetics, great sheep herd. They are a true bonus system. There's no caveat to drawing a general tag or any of that. You just go into it, you build points. Those points are a bonus point, so they get squared. Montana has had a point system for a long time. You're talking multiple decades of people that have been building points. And when you know, if you're new getting started into it, you want to look at the statistics there of, you know, you competing with a guy that has 20 points. You know, statistically, he's going to have a much larger, you know, squared point pool, if you will, going into the draw. And so, you know, it's a state that you should consider those. You know, if you are dreaming of a giant Rocky Mountain bighorn sheep, there's no better place to have a tag than Montana. The great thing about their system, everybody's got a chance. You know, whether that guy going in with 1 point or 20 points, everybody's got a chance to draw a permit. So it's, you know, if you're into that, be aware, you know, you can build points, you can draw those. You know, your odds are pretty long when you start looking at them though. So these are the more common questions that we typically get going into application season for Montana. We do dive much deeper in our application strategy articles, and then the Insider Draw Odds tool will allow you to really plan and put a strategy behind applying in Montana. If you have any questions, anything that you can't find answers to, drop them below. We'll try and answer them best we can. Remember, if you're not an insider, a lot of the things we talked about are reserved for our members, exclusive to them. If you sign up, use the promo code DO50. That'll get you 50 points into our gear shop. Great way to plan and get ready for the hunts this fall, is using our insider product to put a good application strategy. Second most important time of the year is applying and getting permits, so we can all be in the field this fall. So thanks for watching.